Hi, Statistics Sifu here. Wanted to give you a quick demonstration on how you can use ChatGPT and Python to convert your respondent level CSV file into a stacked level file for whatever application you may be using it for. Now, this particular example comes from the Van Westendorp price sensitivity meter. So this is a file where we've got a unique ID and 4 columns of data. Each of these columns represents a dollar figure. If you haven't previously watched my video on the Van Westendorp price sensitivity meter, I'll link that in the description. But it's not really that important. If you're here just to see how to use ChatGPT to stack a data file, this will apply to that. But this could also be considered part of the Van Westendorp process. All right, so again, we've got the data file right here. This is a respondent level file. Each ID is unique. We have in this particular file 115 rows of data, and then we've got a header row. I've saved this to my hard drive, a specific location on my hard drive, and we're going to need to reference that in order to read the file into Python, and then from there to convert it into the long format or the stacked format that's required for the Van Westendorp. So I'm here in ChatGPT 3.5 now. This is the free version of it, and I've saved the path of the data file. So the first thing I'm going to ask ChatGPT is, how do I read this data file into Python? And see, I've also got my Jupyter Notebook open here. I'm calling this the ChatGPT stacking example. So this is where we're going to be starting, but it's a blank notebook. We're starting from scratch. All right, so I'm going to use ChatGPT to create this code. So the first thing I'm going to say is, please provide the Python code to read in a CSV file at the following location on my computer hard drive. And so ChatGPT provides me with this code. Okay, let's see if this works. First, I'm going to copy this code, go to Python, and I'm going to paste this, and then I'll run it. Seems to have run it. Okay, I already had it in there. And then I'm going to copy this code here, and then I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to run that as well. And it looks like it read it in, looks successful. There's my ID. And again, this lines up with the actual CSV file that I had in Excel. Okay, the next step, let's go back to ChatGPT. And we'll say the file consists of 5 columns: ID, too expensive, too cheap, expensive, and cheap. And if you go back and look at the file, those are the 5 columns. Okay. ID is a unique identifier, while the other columns are all prices. I'll say all numeric price values. Please provide the Python code to convert this respondent level file into a stacked file. I'll say respondent level, i.e. wide, file into a stacked, i.e. long file with 1 column for ID, 1 column for price, and a 3rd column that indicates whether the price is too expensive, too cheap, expensive, or cheap. Output the file as a CSV to the same location as the original data file. And so ChatGPT is here telling me you can use the melt function in pandas. And it provides me with all of this code. All right, let's see how this works. So we'll copy the code, go back into Python, I'll paste the code. And note, I don't know how to code this myself. I'm relying on ChatGPT to create the code, but I do understand what I have and what I want. And so I'm able to explain to ChatGPT what I want it to do with the data. All right, so let's highlight this and run it. And it looks like it's created this file with ID, price category, and price. And it called it VWPSM running shoes data melted.csv. And it's in the same folder, so let's go take a look at that. All right, so let me make this a little bit bigger. And I had 115 rows in the original file, so this one should have 460 rows of data. So it'll be down to row 461 if it worked. And that seems to check out. Everything looks good here. Another thing I can do just to double check it, I'm going to create a pivot table real quick. Just want to double check this, and if I pull ID in here, and then count of ID, everything should be 4. Yeah, so everything seems to be checking out okay. So it looks like we were able to use ChatGPT to take that file, describe that file to ChatGPT, tell us what file we wanted it to create, and without knowing anything about Python coding, we're able to use ChatGPT and the Python tool. Specifically, we're using Jupyter Notebook, which is included in the Anaconda bundle. So if you wanted to download Anaconda, you could. That's how you can get access to it. It's open source. It's free. ChatGPT, I'm using the free ChatGPT 3.5 version. So the whole thing was done using software that's openly available at no cost. And so there you've got your stack data file. Now this is a relatively small file, would not have been that difficult to stack manually, but you can imagine if you had much larger data files, but the same sort of process, and even if you had a lot more variables, this is something that would be just as easy to do. So there's one example of where you can use Python with ChatGPT, even if you hardly know how to do any programming in Python. So the biggest things are you need to install Python first, or in this case, I would say Anaconda with Jupyter Notebook, and open an account with ChatGPT. Hope that helps. Good luck with it. I'll see you next time.